All right, are we all back?
Yep.
All right, I'm rolling the timer. Now, so Vlad and Ronan, what you gonna do? The boss is saying he doesn't want you to destroy anything. Would you like to try to... Huh?
I think Wesley should try to kind of break the door open because he has a +1 in strength.
Okay.
Do you have a blade?
Yeah, I also have
Could you use it as like a lever?
We could also try that.
You mean
But-
like stick the blade in there and try to pry it?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. Is that what? Is that your final answer? Is that what you'd like to try?
I think I think Ronan should first maybe try to force it open because he has +1 strength.
Okay.
Oh, and Ronan has a long blade,
Yeah.
which would make a better lever.
Uh-huh. There we go. Well, just give me your final decision, somebody.
Yeah, I think first I'll try.
Just pulling it.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm not going to make you roll because I can tell you now, no, it won't budge. Again, there's a little wiggle to it where you can tell that it's not locked, it's jammed. So using your bare hands did not accomplish it. All right, they're thinking, let's, or do you have something? I mean...
No, I'm still thinking
Okay.
in process.
Well, the boss is looking at this drawing, and he says it's a crayon drawing of a coiled snake. I got a few like them on my refrigerator at home that my 5-year-old draws, so I don't see the big deal. I think you guys should go ahead and get that door open. So, while you guys give that a little bit more think, I know that they are at engineering, waiting to find out what they can find. So, tell me something, y'all. You just came up that gangway. Oh, yeah, you know what? I should probably make clear. Despite what the book says, there between 4 and 5 is a large airlock locking off. It's a big airlock hatch door that's sealing off the hydroponics section.
That's what 4 and 5 is?
Between 4 and 5. Because 5 is the gangway that goes up, and then 4 is where hydroponics starts, but it doesn't show a hatch or anything. So I'm saying that there's a big airlock door there.
What is the gray stuff next to it?
Those are...
They're,
Are those the plant beds?
Well, this is why I was asking where you guys were, but fine.
Because otherwise, how are you going to get, if there's something blocking the way up to the...
Okay, so as you look through the window on the airlock going into hydroponics, you can see that those are the walkways, and they're completely grown over. The middle section there is actually the planter, where all the plants are. But yes, now when you the thing is so overgrown that you can't even see the walking paths on the sides. However, you can see the large, looks like it's an iris right there, so you can't go into 6 without opening it. Oh, well, 6, yeah, it even says it's an airlock, so. So
Well,
yes.
I think we should start with the front.
Yeah.
Okay.
Start with 2.
Just to put a bow on it, this airlock is the type that going into hydroponics is the type that would surely open easily if there was power. So, now as far as the forward of this ship, okay, that long gray bar that starts over there at 2, that long gray bar, actually I have a description of it. It's a solid area containing a complex set of electronics parts and several solid silver bus bars, whatever that means, So I'm summarizing it or changing it. These are consoles, interfaces, terminals, panels, etc. You have clearly reached the heart of the ship, okay? And then coming out of the top of this huge thing are a whole bunch of cables that go up into the ceiling panels. Okay, so yes, there's this huge, I mean, we can call it control console, whatever. It is definitely the heart of the ship systems. And then down there all the way at the end, too, okay, it says forward control area. That little console that you see at the end there, oh, there it is. A complete set of jump controls are installed at this point, including a computer terminal. So yes, that's what that little thing is at 2.
So on the deck, there are two sets of jump controls, right?
You mean on the bridge? Yes.
On the bridge, yeah.
By the way, guys, since you're not Doulos characters, you're people who've been living in this universe for 30 some odd years, you know you've never seen a ship with 2 jump drives in it. This is bizarre. I mean, why would you need 2 of them? It doesn't make sense. So it's not just you guys sitting at the table that would be puzzled. Your characters would be profoundly puzzled as well.
Yeah, should we go? I think we should go into one.
Well, I want to use the EM probe to see if I can get the power on.
Okay. I'll let him look at this first, and then
Okay.
we will do some EM probe stuff. So yes, the engineering area has 2 jump drives. These sensors on the ship you came from, the Amanda Dorlac, identified them as jump drives. Same, by the way, as it identified the things on the top rear as maneuver drives. The starboard jump drive is easily recognizable as a jump drive. However, the port side drive is unlike any jump drive you've ever seen. The overall configuration is jump drive-like, but you can't actually identify any of the usual components. Could the ship sensors have been wrong?
Mm.
All right, now, I wrote some things about the consoles. There we go. EM readings. Give me some kind of reading for your, or some kind of roll for your EM reader thingy.
Education.
I would think so, yeah.
So yeah, I guess I'll just use education.
Okay, what kind of electronic skills do you have, though?
I don't.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
So sure, go for it.
3, 4.
Okay, well, you haven't found it yet. You're just going to have to keep on looking. Taz, what are you doing while she is looking over all these consoles and controls and stuff?
I want to see if the hydroponics area has plants that I recognize or don't recognize.
Okay. All right. Well, looking through the window there, you see, yes, you see the entire area is overgrown with plants. An iris valve is obvious aft, with the 2 corridors leading forward are not being concealed by the extensive growth. Overhead, the area is roofed by transparent sloping ceiling panels and banks of lights. None of the plants are recognizable. There are large leaf, small leaf, vine, flower. It's all here, but none you've ever seen. And yes, there are some kind of fruits or vegetables on the various plants, but again, they're unrecognizable. And if there is a way to summarize an edible thing that grows on a plant, other than saying it's either a fruit or a vegetable, I don't know what to call it. So we're just going with, you see what are obviously edible things on these plants in there, okay?
Leaves, roots.
Well, you see it all. You see some that are growing on vines. You see some that are coming out of leaves, like cauliflowers or lettuces or whatever. Yeah. You see everything but recognize nothing.
Okay.
Now, let's talk about this, go back to this room 9 thing. Uh-oh, here he comes early. He's ready for his close-up, Mr. DeMille. Let's talk about this locked room again. Or this...
I think
Go ahead.
I'm gonna try to kick the door to see if anything happens, to like break down through.
All right, I'll have you roll for injury. No, you weren't injured, but no, that door don't budge.
Oh.
And it's interesting that the professor is absolutely clueless. He seems to not understand reality. He says, "What are you wasting time for? Get that door open." What were you going to say, Wesley?
I'm gonna use my dagger, like at if there's like a little side right here, and like
Try to pry it open.
yeah.
All right. Give me a... Hang on. Let me write down something real quick for my own reference. Okay. All right. Give me a strength check.
Okay. Strength 1. And that's 2d6. 2d6.
Yes.
Okay. 8.
8. You pry and can tell that this thing ain't going nowhere. Short of an explosive or something. I don't know, maybe... Okay, you know what? I'll tell you that you do get a foothold in there with the knife. It feels like if you had something sturdier and longer and enough guys pushing on it, you might be able to pry that door open.
Well, I have a blade, and maybe Wesley and I could both do it.
A blade, like a knife blade?
Has a long blade.
Yeah, that.
You have a long blade. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Ronan has a long blade. Okay. I'm going to warn you now that that roll I just had you do, Ronan, if you had gotten over a 10, I would have said, no, the door did not open, but you have just bent your dagger and it's ruined forever. So let's keep in mind, guys, that whatever you use to try to pry it, it might end up useless to you for anything else afterward.
You could check one of those like utility room things.
Maybe we could go to the workshop room. There's most likely like laser tools there.
Oh, laser tools. Interesting.
Or try to find a crowbar and like
Right, yeah.
stick it in there.
Yeah. So where on the... Could we maybe agree to call it the workshop deck?
Sure.
Because that seems to be what it's for. These are workshops. What workshop would you... Well, okay, Vlad, are you going to go by yourself to try to find a tool, or are you two going and leaving the other two guys there, or what's happening?
I'm gonna go stay with the
You'll
two
stay there.
others.
All right. So Vlad, you are going to head down to the or up to the workshop deck.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then we will leave you on your way. Lucy, how's it going over there on those consoles? You want to try another pass with your EM thing?
Mm-hmm.
Give me a roll.
11.
11. Okay, would you like to notify everybody that you think you've found it and you'll have the power on in a few minutes?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so there is the word out that you guys should have power in a few minutes. So yes, you cannot open the airlock there until you have power.
I'll just wait.
Okay. Let me see if I've got anything else in these notes that I might be able to entice you with. I mean, you could start looking at the mysterious jump drive and see if you can make some kind of sense of why it's so different. If you've got a skill that you
Sure, I
can
can do that.
Okay.
Is that an electronics role? Mechanic role?
I would allow you either.
Okay.
How
I'll
about
do-
mechanics? Okay, let's look at it this way. There is no power, but as I said, you can recognize that the overall configuration is jump drive-like, but you can't discern any of the usual components. So maybe with your mechanics ability, you could begin looking at these components. As I understand it, somebody who's only worked on American cars, if they look under the hood of a Toyota, it's all completely different. But give them enough time and they can figure it out. Okay, here's the manifold, etc. So maybe you could discern something. So go for it. Mechanics roll. You can add your intelligence. Or, yeah.
Education?
No, make it intelligence this time, since the parts are unrecognizable.
Oh, right. 3.
Okay, so you're standing there with your hands in your pockets. Boys, is there anything you're doing at the moment? Oh, that's right, you're on your way to the... All right, which shop do you want to check, Vlad?
I think I'll check probably 1, because it says there are like machine tools, workbench cabinets filled with
Alright.
spare.
Okay, so what kind of roll can you give me for trying to find something?
I could do mechanic.
Yeah, well... All right, sure. Give me a mechanics roll for your search for a crowbar or whatever.
8.
You find something you hope will work. It seems stout enough, it seems long enough. In fact, we'll say it's long enough to put 3 guys on it. Okay? Looks like that a couple of them could get on the pushing side while one gets on the pull side. Okay? You think it will work. Yeah, we'll come back to that. Lucy, give us a roll to try to get that power back on. Or have you thought better of it?
No,
Oh, okay.
I'm looking at my skills. I guess the only one I have is education.
Yeah, fair enough. Give me an
Or should I
education.
do intelligence because this isn't
Yeah.
It's more.
Let's
it's
say...
alien technology.
Yeah, you're right. All right, intelligence. You're right.
9.
9. All right, guys. Lucy, you succeeded. Tell everybody the good news.
Woohoo! We got the power on.
All right, and I am finding that.
Let there be light.
Uh-huh. All right, when they turn the power on. Okay, lights come on. Control panel screens all over the ship come to life. The gravity comes on quickly, but not suddenly. So all of a sudden, I mean, it's not like you have to catch yourself. It's more the feeling like in an elevator that starts to go down. All of a sudden, everything gets heavy again. In fact, you feel extra heavy. You feel very heavy. Anybody who does anything from here on out is going to have to, that involves physical something, you're going to have to take a -1 while you are acclimating to the gravity back on. Okay, you guys now have power on the ship. Speak. Who wants to do something first?
I do.
All right, Vlad, what's it going to be?
I want to go back to room 9.
All right. Poof, you're at room 9.
And now I also want to open the door.
Alrighty, so let's see. I gotta find that again. There we are. Alright, so you've got a long pole. What are you gonna do?
So I think Wesley and I should push, and maybe the boss or the camera guy should pull?
The moment you even look at the camera guy, he says, "Don't look at me, man. I'm documenting all of this. I want to get what happens on film."
Okay, then I'll have the boss pull.
Yep, so I am going to say that the boss is old. He has a -1 for strength. Wait a minute. Who's got the lowest strength modifier and what is it? 0, I assume?
I have -1.
You have a
0.
-1. So we're going to say that he's got your strength and we're going to add a -1 because of his age. What I need is for all 3 of us to try to move this bar, and I need all 3 of us to get a success with a strength check. Go. Well, I got a success.
6, 7, 8, 9.
You got a success? All right.
I got a success. 10
Wow.
-1.
Okay, so that bar does not bend. I gotta get down to the. Here it is. Okay. The 3 of you, or actually, I'd be the one. No, I'm helping to push. Come on, everybody. Come on, vlog. Let's see it. You're pushing. And all of a sudden, the door gives way.
Step back.
And all this dust like a big cloud of dust comes out. No, you're in a vac suit, so it's not going to bother you. All of this dust comes rolling out of this room. I mean, to the point that you guys are kind of blinded for a moment. What are you doing in this moment?
I'm gonna be at the ready with my gun.
Okay.
I'll draw my sword.
Okay, we got a sword drawn. We got a gun drawn. The dust, after a couple of moments, is... Wait a minute. Are you guys being absolutely silent?
Yeah.
Or are you, like, screaming? Or are you throwing up a quick Our Father? What are you doing in this huge cloud of dust?
I'm being silent.
Silent.
Wow. Okay, well, the cameraman is not being silent, and neither is the professor. And so you 2 guys hear all of this commotion over the radio. How would you like to handle this?
What's all that racket down there?
Somebody describe the situation.
Well, we were able to open door number 9, and dust suddenly came out. All this dust came out of this room.
So you're screaming because of dust.
I'm going to say, by the way, that I'm thinking of Detroit. It's like a red rust kind of a dust that's floating out. Eric, I thought I heard you start to say something.
I was going to ask, do you guys need help?
No, I don't think.
Nope, the boys don't think they need help. All right. The dust is getting thinner, seems to be dispersing out and settling down. You can now, because of all the flashlights and the cameraman's bright light, you can see that there is stuff inside. This is not an empty room.
Since the power's back on, isn't there light now?
That is a good point. That is a good point. But you know what? There's not light in this room.
Like someone blew it out.
Yeah, we'll say that this room is darkened for whatever reason. And as the cloud disperses more and more, you see, you do see some pile of clothes, like kind of everywhere. And, oh, please, I hope those are piles of clothes there.
Uh-oh.
But they're not.
Oh.
They're 4 dead bodies. 3 adults and 1 child.
I'm gonna
Pass out?
go retch somewhere.
Oh, you're gonna run away?
You
Okay.
better not retch in your suit.
Oh, did you say wretch?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Ronan, you used to be a doctor.
Right, right.
I would think
Alright,
as a
fine.
former doctor, you might be able to tell us
Yeah,
something.
I'm gonna go look at the bodies and
Okay.
something in my chest.
All right. So yeah, you guys, as was pointed out, you're now on your feet. You're very heavy. The doctor goes walking in. You can observe that the 3 adults and 1 child, the book says they are all exhibiting considerable corruption. Now I'm going to assume that in medical terminology that means they've been dead a long time and they're pretty rotted and
I would
stuff.
assume so.
Okay, so yeah, you got these 4
Decomposed.
been dead a long time bodies laying there, and this dust that's, I mean, at this point you guys are looking a little orangey brown because it's all over your vac suits. It's spread out all over the deck, and it's still crawling along all over the deck.
So, I have a question. I wouldn't think that bodies would rot in space.
Why not?
There's no, bacteria or anything to
Yeah,
break
there's-
down
Interesting.
their bodies.
It's
So,
because
kind of a
the
mystery, isn't it?
atmosphere.
Just in time for our bio break, everybody.
Okay.